Dear citizens of this beloved federation, I take the occasion of the final announcement of the date for general parliamentary elections to greet and address you as we enter this critical phase in our democratic process. The announcement of the date for general elections, as we know, was not voluntarily made, but forced out of a prime minister who has abandoned every principle upon which team unity was forged and built 7 years ago. This occasion witnesses the most important general elections possibly in the history of our federation and since the dawn of universal adult suffrage. The outcome will determine whether or not our Twin Island Federation reverts to the path of broken promises, manipulation of the parliamentary system in an attempt to sustain undemocratic governance, or continue along a path of uncertainty, subversion of the sovereign will of the people, as we have experienced in these latter waning days of Prime Minister Timothy Harris, or forge a future together based on solid principles, universal development of the state, respecting our institutions and providing a future of prosperity and fair share for all. This occasion also allows me to retrace the important steps and the advances made by Team Unity and previous PAM administrations in the days before democracy was derailed, undermined, and eventually held hostage. Fellow citizens, you will recall that many of the very important gains in this nation were PAM-inspired. While many were busy pointing out what could not be done, PAM did it. Port Zante, the Southeast Peninsula Road, independence, abolition of personal income tax, reduction of the voting age from 21 to 18, schools meals program, free textbooks for secondary school students, diplomatic relations with Taiwan, and payment for the former sugarlands. Other important gains include many social programs. PAM created the first citizenship by investment program in the world, on the backs of which this country was thrust into a rapid development agenda, such as was never seen in our region. At a time when programs like CBI are coming under the microscope, globally, as concerned citizens, we must spare no effort in working to restore the integrity of the program so that it can be made to work to provide better housing and health care, higher education and scholarships, better infrastructure, more training, and more access to resources to build a small business or own your own home and empower individuals and families. Our CBI program must be transparent and must be made to stand up to the scrutiny to which it will no doubt be subjected by the global powers that be. 4 decades ago, PAM's policies advanced this nation, and we are still seeing the benefits of those today. 4 decades ago, older than many of you, PAM has always been a party of visionaries, forward thinkers, who are less interested in self-aggrandizement and more interested in enhancing lives. PAM's policies outlast PAM's years in government. That, fellow citizens, is leadership in which you can trust and believe. Even in the most recent Team Unity administration, the PAM representatives in cabinet were the architects of the tourism trust and success that we have seen. PAM's tourism agenda has worked in the face of an unprecedented pandemic, and we will ensure that it continues working by expanding our room stock and visitor experience and increasing airlift. Tax breaks, grants, and other incentives will be afforded to those, especially young people, who are interested in creating their own tourism businesses, such as building, Airbnb properties. These are some of the covenants that Pam is making with you, our beloved sisters and brothers of this dear nation. As we reflect on the gains previously made, our nation must accordingly be saddened by the backward steps taken by Prime Minister Harris in his pursuit of a selfish personal agenda, only so he could exert his will on the people, and, as he has said, all because he is the Prime Minister and he calls the shots. But perhaps his most telling character accomplishment, revealing his moral bankruptcy and how unfit he is for office, is his nearsighted pursuit of constructing the $2.4 billion prison project. In these times in which so many Kittitians and Nevisians are crying out for assistance with basic needs and other priorities necessary for survival, empowerment, and improved circumstances. Hundreds of millions of dollars that should go to advanced health care, tertiary education for the youth, skills training, and moving our country along the cutting edge of ICT and the creative economy, creating great possibilities for employment of young people by connecting our job market to the world. All this money is now being surreptitiously squandered. And even when this grand scheme is exposed, and one would think that a decent-minded citizen would certainly hit the brakes, Dr. Harris's feet are firmly on the accelerator of this ill-advised prison project in which few citizens would realize any benefits. But all is not lost. We can and will take solace in the fact that when Dr. Harris announced August 5th as Election Day, in effect, he announced Liberation Day, and we, the people, under the banner of PAM and CCM, will, as certain as night follows day, march victoriously to freedom and liberation. We will not go back to either the unreformed Labour Party that is salivating at the thought of having access once more to the treasury of the Federation, or to Harris's mal-administered adventure of the last few months. PAM and CCM have run a campaign based on substance over hype and agenda over rhetoric. We continue to lay out an agenda based on our Federation reimagining and redesigning a healthier, cleaner, greener, more sustainable, more secure, more affordable, and more prosperous future. Bold, audacious, visionary, but that is PAM. We did it 40 years ago, and we are still doing so today. The challenges of the times call for courageous, effective, and transparent leadership and action. The challenges call for unity of purpose and vision. The challenges call for people-centered policies that address the challenges we face. The interest of the people must be placed back at the center of this Federation's policies and programs to help us realize the future that Kittitians and Nevisians expect and deserve. Our agenda is exclusively concentrated on making this a more just and inclusive society that brings government closer to the people to realize economic growth and development. Our agenda is focused on creating and securing sustainable jobs, more opportunities, and a better standard of living for you and your families in construction, infrastructure, in food security, in tourism, in entrepreneurship, in information technology. This country of Kim Collins and Kieran Powell and Kazim Archibald will empower our young people in leadership, in business, in education, in mentorship and training, in ICT, in music, sports, and the creative industry. PAM and CCM's Dream Fund, home ownership grants, and other programs will fund those dreams and take you to higher heights, narrowing the income and achievement gaps for a more equitable society. Our elderly, the backbone of this nation, will have a decent standard of health and social care, social security, and pensions to live out their golden years in a land to which they have toiled and labored and given their blood, sweat, and tears. This land is determined to give back to them a well-earned, comfortable life. And we have the means to do so, to realize the agenda that can touch every life in a positive and meaningful way. The Citizenship by Investment Program and other GDP indicators like tourism can afford a higher living standard to every man, woman, boy, and girl in our federation. Liberation Day is coming. Empowerment, jobs, and opportunities are coming on Friday, August 5th. Our manifesto is the roadmap to a better life for every Kittitian and Nivision. And throughout this campaign, we will continue to detail every aspect of the plans that we have prepared and presented to you after listening to you and consulting with you, the citizens. As we march to Liberation Day, we will continue to run a campaign on the same principles in which we will govern this nation, if afforded the privilege, substance, service, and selflessness. Our campaign, like our government, will be focused on the things that matter to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. So, as we move toward Election Day, I urge all citizens to keep a discerning mind, to distinguish between empty promises and real policies and opportunities. I call on you to continue the great march of our foreparents who battled against enslavement and plantation exploitation, and naysayers and skeptics, and who laid the foundation for our modern state, which now finds itself at a crossroads. We can either go forward with PAM or backward with the others. The choice is clear. The time is now. The priorities are pressing. Elections are about choices. And I am confident that you will support PAM and CCM in forming a more enlightened government, delivering results, transforming lives, and creating opportunities for our very talented people who have shown, whether it be in sport, culture, or academia, we can punch well beyond our weight. Our many prominent citizens have awakened the world to the prowess of the people of a great small nation, fortified by the struggle of our ancestors and working in unity with leadership that is inspirational and forward-looking. Their work, their legacy, their opportunities, we will advance and bestow to the rest of this nation and to our subsequent generations. And we will, because Liberation Day will come to this federation on Friday, August 5th. I thank you, and may God richly bless our beloved St. Kitts and Nevis, and all of you, as we are forever a nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts, we stand for justice and liberty.